Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure speaking to you today and participate in this important conversation. In order to achieve the goals of the Paris Agreement, immediate action is needed to enable and support a global transition to a net zero economy. And not only since the latest report from the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, it's clear that human influence warmed the climate at a rate that is unprecedented in at least the last 2,000 years. It's also affecting many weather and climate extremes across the globe. And we could experience it at our doorsteps here in Europe, where Germany and other countries were affected by catastrophic floods this summer. The report also points out that climate change effects will become more and worse as emissions increase. It means that net zero targets and specifically implementation are urgently needed to stabilize warming at 1.5 degrees. So how can portfolios be aligned to net zero? And more importantly, how can we achieve a sustainable real-world impact in the real economy? When we started thinking about these questions at Allianz, it became clear very quickly that we can't do it alone. For such a transition, it is needed that, for example, carbon-heavy business models and whole sectors move and transition. We need a transformation of products and services. We need renewed regulatory and policy frameworks. And we also need transparency in terms of data and measurement to see and measure what is really happening in the real economy. So you see that all stakeholders are needed to move the market into decarbonization. So these requests, requirements, and questions were at the core when we, as Allianz, together with other asset owners, started the Net Zero Asset Owner Alliance. We're currently partnering with more than 40 institutional investors representing $6.6 trillion assets under management, and the alliance is steadily growing. We're all committed to the net zero goal by 2050. The alliance was called the gold standard by the Secretary General, which made us very proud and very happy. And although it is important to have a long-term target, the urgency to deliver earlier on this bold target is reflected in the target setting protocol by 2025. It means that Allianz and all other alliance members have committed to have 5-year targets. And for us at Allianz, it already means that the first targets will be delivered by 2025. The target setting is put together in 4 layers. So you can think about it as one layer representing the portfolio or sub-portfolio level, the other representing targets and sector targets, the third one, engagement targets, and the fourth one, the financing transition targets. For us at Allianz, it means that on the portfolio level, we will reduce our emissions by 25% until 2025 in listed equity and corporate fixed income corporates portfolio. Also, our real estate portfolio will be in line with 1.5 degrees until 2025. The next layer represents the sector targets, where intensity-based reductions are required, specifically from carbon-heavy sectors. And all of those efforts are underpinned by engagement efforts with companies on the one hand, but also with asset managers to create a multiplier effect towards a real world impact. But the whole target setting is not only about risk mitigation, it's also about finding opportunities to invest into climate solutions, for example. Climate solutions are, for us, practices and technologies that avoid greenhouse gas emissions or sequester carbon dioxide already in the atmosphere. And we can achieve these investments, for example, via public-private partnerships. That was the reason why we put out a call for action to asset managers to create blended finance vehicles, which would enable us to do investments and de-risk investments, which otherwise may not be possible for us to be made based on our asset allocation. Overall, we will also report on progress on all of those layers. Later this year, we will publish the next version of the target setting protocol, where we will, on the one hand, report on the progress, but we will also, for example, introduce a new methodology for infrastructure investments to enable that the target setting can really spread across the complete portfolio. So with this, I would like to leave you specifically with a question and a request, which is either feel free to join the Net Zero Asset Owner Alliance. We're open for new members, and we think the more members we have with the same target, the faster we can achieve our decarbonization efforts. And if not, please also have the same targets. You don't have to join the Asset Owner Alliance, but join us on the journey to achieve net zero latest by 2050. Thank you.